Hello guys, welcome to the second episode of how to create geometry dash inside of Unity. Today we'll be polishing off the cube game mode and we'll be adding portals. So we're going to start up with polishing the cube game mode. Now we're going to be implementing the rotation of the cube. Whenever you jump inside of geometry dash, you can see that the icon slightly rotates. So we're going to be adding that now. The first thing we need to change is we need to swap these two if statements, because we first have to check if the player's actually on the ground, because we rotate the icon only when it's not on the ground. So we'll swap these, if on ground, there. And now we put in an else statement. So if we're not on the ground, then we're going to be rotating. First of all, we have to create a new variable, which is a transform. Here we're going to be adding these sprites, and the reason for that is because we're rotating the sprites, not the player itself. Otherwise it will look a little weird. I can show you what it will look like. So we'll add the rotation vector 3.back times 5. I think that looks pretty good. As you can see, it kind of spins weirdly. That's because it interferes with the box collider and the rigid body. So instead we'll be rotating these sprites. So inside of Unity we of course have to assign the sprite first, otherwise we'll get an error. So we'll drag it in here and then we'll play. As you can see, now it's fixed, but still have to do a little bit of working to get it right, because now once we're actually on the ground, it stopped rotating, but it's still in a weird rotation. That's because we have to snap its rotation to its nearest 90 degrees, which is the next thing we're going to be adding. So Unity actually stores the rotation of every game object in its transform. So the rotation of this would be something like, I don't know, 0, 0, 45, something like that. And inside of the editor, you can see the rotation as a vector free, as you can see here, 0, 0, 4, 5. But it is actually stored as a quaternion, which is not a vector, but a number. So the first thing we'll have to do is we'll have to convert the quaternion to a vector free. Then we can take the z-axis, and then we have to round that to its nearest 90. So in order to do that, we're going to be using the math.round function. We're going to be using that function in order to round the 45, but round takes a float, so something like 0.5, and returns 1. What are we going to do with 45? Well, first thing we have to do is we have to divide it by 90, which is 0.5. And if you round 0.5 to its nearest integer, then you get 1. And if you times 1 by 90, then you get 90. And this works with every single rotation. Okay, so back in our movement scripts, we're going to be adding that rounding now. So we're going to have to add that here when the player is actually on the ground. So what we'll do is we'll start off with a vector free and call that rotation. That will be transform.rotation, rotation.Euler angles. This line of code will convert the quaternion into a vector free, and we'll store that into this variable. Then we're going to be rounding the z-axis of the rotation. So rotation dot z divided by 90. Then we times the result by 90 like this. And then lastly, we'll change the transform.rotation. So transform.rotation is rotation dot, quaternion dot Euler And then we have to give it vector 3, which will be our rotation. And this function basically converts vector 3 into a quaternion. So now it should in fact work. Oh, wait, what? Oh, wait. We have to use the sprites, sorry. So we have to get the sprites rotation, and we have to change the sprites rotation here because we're rotating the sprites, not the player itself. And like that, we now have a rotating character. So the last thing we're going to be adding is a quick enum here. This will be called game modes. Pretty sure that's how you spell it. And then we are going to be adding the cube game mode, which is 0, and the ship game mode, which is 1. We're not going to add the ship yet, but this is just for the future. So next up, we're going to be implementing the portals. So as you know, in Geometry Dash, there are different portals that have different functions. There are portals that could, for example, change your game mode. It could switch gravity and change speed. The last one may sound a little silly because the speeds inside of Geometry Dash are not actually portals, but the behavior is completely similar, so it'd be the most concise to just add it to our portal script. We're going to have a portal object, and it's going to be holding a portal script, which will keep track of what exactly of these 3 we want to change and what we want to change it to. For example, will this change the player into a ship? Will it switch to gravity? Will it change the speed to faster? And then once the player collides with our portal here, then the portal script will communicate with our movement script. So let's add the movement here. So the portal script will be interacting with our movement script to change one of these 3 things. That's basically what the portal is going to be doing. Yeah, that's actually pretty much it. We want to create a script, which we'll call portal script, like this. Make sure it's spelled like this with the capitals as well. That's pretty important. Otherwise, something later in the video won't work. Remember when I said in the explanation that the portal could change the game mode, change the speed, etc.? We'll be adding variables here to keep track of what exactly we want to change. So first of all, we'll add the game modes. Game mode, and we'll add the speeds. And then we might just want to make a bool and call it something like upright gravity. And then we need an integer for these states. So if the states would be 0, then the game mode would change. If the state would be 1, then the speed would change. If the state would be 2, then the gravity would change. So now let's add a void called onCollisionEnter. This is to check if the player touched the portal. So the first thing we have to do is check if this is the player. I think what I will do is I'll use the try. Movements, yeah, called movements, and then that is collision dot game object dot get component movements catch. So basically it will try to get the movement scripts from the collision, and in case there somehow isn't a movement script inside the collision we collided with, then we just do nothing. That's basically what we're doing now. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to call a function inside of the movement, which we haven't implemented yet. And this function will change whatever, like the game mode or speeds based on these variables here. So let's add that. So change portal like that. And we're going to be putting all of these variables in our function as well. Like that. That's all we're going to be needing. And then switch states. We'll start up with the speed. So if case 0, then we'll be changing the speed. So speeds is speed. Oh wait, current speed. That. And then break. If the state is 1, then we'll change the game mode. So let's add a variable that will keep track of our game mode. Like that. Then our current game mode will be the variable inside of our void here. Then we break again. Then if the state is 2, then we'll be changing the gravity. By the way, I think this variable here should be an enum. Yeah. So instead of using a bool or an integer, I'm going to add a quick enum. That just makes it easier to select if you either want upright or upside down. So let's call that gravity. Upright would be 1, and upside down would be -1. And the upright gravity, we'll just call it gravity instead. Let's put that enum in the movement script. I think that makes more sense. And then in here, what we'll do is we'll get the rigid body. And then we're going to be changing the gravity scale to math.absolute p.gravity scale. Then we times that by the gravity variable here. This will give an error. That's because we have to convert our enum into an integer, and then we have to break. So we're going to change the gravity scale of the rigid body to its absolute. So it would be a positive number, even if it would be negative. So the absolute of 5 would be 5. The absolute of -5 would also be 5. So let's put that function here. Movement dot change through portal. First our game mode, which is this variable. Yeah. Then speed. Then gravity. I'm just going to call this gravity. I think that would be easier. Yeah. and then the state. There we go. Okay, so the Portal script does actually work, but right now it's not very practical. I can show you. If I create a new object and call it Portal, if I add the Portal script to that, as you can see, I would have to put down the state and then the corresponding variable completely manually, and that's just a bit tedious. So instead we'll create a new folder. We'll call it editor, and inside of the editor we create a script called PortalEditor. Let's open up that script, and the code for this inside of the description. It would be a little bit difficult to put all of this inside of one video. Instead, I'll just show you what it does. So one thing that might happen when adding the Portal editor now is that you can see it says multi-object editing not supported. You just have to deselect the portal and then select it again, and then it's totally fine. So as you can see, you can now pick between game mode, speed, and gravity. If I, for example, pick gravity, then the variable below also changes. So I could, for example, pick upside down gravity, and then I could go to speed, and then I can change the speed here. And in order to make this a full-on Portal object, because right now it's nothing but a point, creates a sprite object here called Portal. Reset the transform, and I'm going to scale the y-axis to about 3. I think that's alright. Then inside of these sprites we'll put in a sprite here, like that, and we'll add a edge collider, like so, negative 0.5, like that, and then y like 0.5, I think, yeah. And the x of this one is negative 0.5, and then the y to negative 0.5. That creates a line here. Then we add the Portal script. Let's change the speed and change it to fastest. Current speed of the player is normal. Let's put that to slow so that we can fully see the difference. So as you can see, once we go through the portal, the character goes faster. Thank you for watching. In the next episode, we'll also be adding the ship game mode and much more. So I'll see you guys next time.